Hi, my name is Bettina Laux and I'm sitting here with Karsten Drath from Leadership Choices. Today we will talk about resilience and what you as a manager can do for your teams. Before we talk more about resilience, I want to focus on the importance and the big role that you as a manager play for your employees and their health. There's a study out there that shows that 85% of people feel healthy and balanced even though they have a high workload, while only 14% feel healthy and balanced with bad leadership. So it's an immense influence that you have, and we want to show you today a few ideas what you can do to improve resilience in your team. So, hi, Karsten.
Hi, Bettina.
So tell us more. There's a big magic around resilience and how I can be resilient, what managers can do. Can you explain a bit more what resilience is?
Yeah, it's indeed a very fashionable term these days. Where the term really comes from is from physics. So it describes the ability of a physical object to recover from an impact from the outside. If you translate that to leaders and to their teams, it really means how well can they cope with stress, pressure, adversity, change coming their way. And the good news is part of it is part of a personality, so it's kind of born, but there's another part of it which can be trained.
Okay, and so that means that I as a person can train or try to improve my resilience, but then there's also something that managers can do for their teams.
Right.
What is it that they can do?
Yeah, so next to working on your own resilience, being a role model for your people, like managing your boundaries, how long hours do you work, how do you communicate, all of that. There's especially an element of leadership that is at stake here. From neurosciences, we know that there's 4 key traits that the way the human brain is wired, people need in order to be led and to be at balance, even when thriving and under pressure. First element is the feeling of self-control. So people need to be given or need to have the feeling that they are in control of their own destiny. Another element is sense of belonging, so being part of a team, being part of a community. The third element is self-worth and the tendency to increase your own self-worth. And also each individual strives for happiness and joy. So these are the 4 basic elements. So a resilient way of leading is aligning your behavior to those principles.
Okay, and can you give us a few concrete examples how I as a manager can do that?
Absolutely. Key is communication. Okay, so first of all, talk to your people, give them feedback, tell them what you expect from them, but also listen to them. How do they feel? What do they need from you as a leader? So, that is very important in terms of sense of belonging, self-worth, feeling of control. Those are key elements, for example. Another element is be transparent about the things that you do and why do you do them. Many times companies go through change after change after change, and there's a natural tendency to stop talking when we need it the most. So even if you can't communicate, then communicate that you can't, but at least people are aware, and then there's no second guessing.
Okay, good. And if you think about if a manager wants to start with 2 things right away today, how to be more or manage more resilient, what is it then 2 examples you could give them?
Yeah, I think the first element is really your own boundary management. So where do you draw the boundaries? When do you start work? How long do you work? What kind of behavior do you model to your people? How do you use your technology? Are you controlled by your little device, or are you controlling it yourself? Are you able to switch it off? And what kind of behavior do you show? And the other element would be talk to 2-3 people a day about how they are, how they feel, listen to them and see how you can support them in their work. I think it's little things, but it's like working out. You really need to do it in order to make a difference.
Okay, so to sum it up, it's really down to the people management, really the human contact and being in touch with your team.
Yeah, and really understand how humans work, and once you understand that and behave accordingly, leading in a resilient way is actually not that difficult.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bettina.